Good evening, folks. Good afternoon. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Light 'em Up Lounge. It's Wednesday, time for another inspiring conversation, time for another special guest. And she is back. Leonor Abzaradel from Platinum Nova Cigar. Or is it actually Nova Cigar now? I was
No,
wondering.
no, hi everyone. Thank you for having me here. But the name is Platinum Nova Cigar. But from the day one, everybody say Nova, 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 and we just go
Exactly.
with Nova Cigar. But the name is Platinum Nova Cigar.
So I just wanted to make sure I get that right from the get-go,
Okay.
because also you changed your branding slightly, or at least the presentation and the packaging. We'll talk about that in a second. You introduced the new packaging at the PCA a couple of weeks ago, but first and foremost, welcome to everybody joining us this week. Welcome to everybody here at the lounge, our friends and family, our inner circle, but of course, welcome also to everybody joining us on the YouTube live stream. Leo, it's wonderful to have you back. It's been a while. I checked. We last jumped onto the Light 'Em Up show in, I believe, 2021. Can you imagine?
Yes.
It feels like yesterday, but at the same time, it's like the world has changed over and over. And what a crazy time it has been. So
Hmm.
wonderful to have you back. I thought
Thank
I'll
you.
get the goodies and light up a Leo 11 today. It's been sitting in my humidor for quite a while because this is also from 2021, I believe, right? Um,
It
so
was our release for 2021.
there you go. So this is a whole trip down memory lane. But of course, we want to talk about what's news. We want to talk about Nova and the design that you introduced. So thanks for taking the time. Thanks for being here,
No,
and it's always
again,
a
thank you for
pleasure
having me.
to see you. It's a pleasure to see your smile. You know, you're always one of the most positive and smiling and welcoming people in the industry. And you know, when we walk down the trade show floor from a mile away, you see that big smile and the Leo radiating all the positive energy.
And beautiful. Come on.
Thank
Well,
you.
that
Thank you,
that goes
Mike.
without saying, Mike. But thank you
Obviously.
for the very important add-on. Absolutely, Leo. Tell us uh, how have you been ever since New Orleans, and how do you feel now here in 2025 with all the changes? And you've been around with Platinum Nova now for, well, as we know,
Seven, yes,
um,
7 years.
well over 7 years.
Hmm.
Um, how do you feel, or which point in your career do you feel you're at here in 2025?
Uh, when you ask about the point, I'm almost there because I'm never gonna say I made it. I'm good. I'm always have to be. I'm almost there. Nova so far is be a while. Like the people, the customer, the new customer, the old customer on the cigar industry give you a chance to new product. The retailers give you a chance to put ours on the shelf. And so far, I think like people start, hey, I want to try Nova. I try Nova, and it's like a big snowball. Like you start, and next thing you know, everybody, all the consumer around the world, help us to growing and growing, and our dedication is always there. And thanks all of you to support and believe in Nova and believe in the new brand. That is really important. And I'm not have no complaints. Like it's not easy, but when you just put the love and the passion and the people see everything, you keep going, like a
Very true.
small step at the time, but just be there, like slowly.
With that, you sort of open the can of worms that I would like to discuss, and that is, I think oftentimes people underestimate how much time and effort and energy it truly needs to establish a, that's quote unquote boutique cigar company, or even a new cigar company, whatever boutique or other nomenclature you want to throw at it. But just the time it takes to not only create an initial hype, normally afterwards you see a little slowdown, but to keep that momentum high and at some point make that critical step or that flip where you become household brand that is widely distributed, recognized, and you see it in a lot of humidors across the
Mhm.
country when you're in the US or internationally. And I thought about this recently when I saw Steve Saka at the trade show. And I think Steve has been very successful in establishing Dumbarton Tobacco and Trust as a household name in a lot of humidors across the country now. But it's been 10 years for him, right? So even though the brand still feels relatively young and a challenger, and the very same is true for Platinum Nova, you know, it's been 10 years that you've built that foundation and that you grind away every single day. And then people are always surprised if it's like, oh yeah, it's like an overnight success, right? But you don't really see all the
No.
hard work that goes into building this.
And believe me, it's not an overnight success. It's like it's a raw always in construction. Like we say before, we are 7 years on the business. Uh, it's day by day because you have to go with the flow. You have to understand the consumer, the market, and you have to be ready. Um, I'm always say when I'm thinking I'm here, I'm wrong. Like I have to keep
Mm,
working next to, and I maybe I'm gonna repeat a lot of time in this Zoom next to the consumer because for us the consumer is the most important part, and we working for them. It's not an overnight success. It's like day by day. Um, Thank God we are very good. We have very good relation with everybody. But if somebody have any question, I'm always say good and bad feedback is good because improve ourselves to make better cigars. On the end of
absolutely.
the day, it's like handmade cigar. Mistake happen, things happen, but just keep going, keep growing, keep doing the stuff together. Like it's a long way, but we are there and we don't plan to go anywhere. Like you're gonna keep see this face for long, long time. I hope so.
Oh, absolutely. What do you think, in your experience from the past years, what are a few, just a few nuggets, golden nuggets, that you would consider the most important aspects in building a successful brand that will be, above and beyond any other normal brand that tries to crack the market, crack the code, and make itself heard?
You have to just follow your princess, like principle. Like when you start the way you start and you offer a quality cigar, you have to keep that standard. Like if we keep working the way we're doing so far until now, I believe for sure we're gonna go so far to many, many different retail shop and to the hands to everybody. The challenge so far, if I talk, is like be working together with social media, the all these things like I call social media, but it's like internet shows like this one. We have to go on the same time because the time changes, and if we planning to stay behind the desk and make the magic happen, it's not going to happen that way. And so far with Nova, we're working in the old-fashioned way and in the new way. Old-fashioned is because, like you guys gonna see me, I just travel tomorrow. I just leave South Florida and I go all the way to the north to take care of our client, take care of customer. Hello, share the cigar. That is
Hmm.
always. And I don't
Yeah,
have no problem. I love do this kind of stuff because it's appreciation direct with the retailers and the consumer. In the other hands is the internet, social media is there. And sometimes, people, this is the Bible almost. Every time everybody is on the phone. And I think it's a great way to connect with the new generation too, the newest smoker cigars. It's like we put together the all-time smokers, lovers, and the new ones, and we need to take care both points.
very, very true. Now, the other obvious thing would be to simply say, well, you start by making a great cigar, and thankfully we live in a time where there are so many wonderful cigars on the market, and a lot of people would argue it's probably the golden age of cigar enjoyment because you can almost grab any cigar out of the humidor and you will have a very pleasurable experience. But not just on the product level, but also on, let's say, the product mix, the way you develop your portfolio, these sort of business related aspects. How do you look at that now with your experience and having been in the industry for as long as you've been, um, and seeing what other people are doing? Where do you think that Nova truly shines and stands out in the way it's presented to the customer, the way the portfolio is structured, and the experiences that you can offer?
Okay, and the way we present definitely is we change the presentation because we want to make sure people at least see us inside of the humidor with a beautiful, distinguished color, Nova color. That is one of the reasons we changed all the presentation this year on the PCA. We wanted just a fresh look. When I say a fresh look, I back again to nobody feeling intimidated like the newest smoker. Hey, look, it's a fun color. It's different color. That is one of the strategic when we change all the colors and put our Nova color more intense in all the product. And in the other hand, we want to just make sure all the welcome new smokers feeling comfort. Our blends is more like we have so far 26 different lines, and all our blends is more on the medium plus. You're not gonna find like a spicy pepper, like you're gonna smoke like clean palate. And the idea is when people say, Leo, if you want to compare Nova with another company, who's going to be the one? And I say, first, don't make me wrong, but we don't looking for compare our because I'm so focused in what we doing and I'm respect a lot what the rest of the company doing. We don't have time when if you take your time to focus what the neighbor doing, you lose the track. And that is one thing from the beginning. We just focus in what we doing, the way we doing. I'm learner every day, something new, and be there for any recommendation, what everybody looking for. And because we have our own factories, one of the things, we have control on that. And that is
Mm.
another plus to be a boutique company with our own factory. The control is there from the day one.
Um, the the Terra Nova cigar factory, um, I believe came around in 2022, if I'm not
Yes,
mistaken.
yes.
Um, how was that transition like for you, and how immediate do you feel the impact was, um, going all in and rolling the cigars at your own factory, almost to the point where you're vertically integrated and you're in control of every single aspect?
Okay, was really, really smooth because we have a factory in 2022, but we working in that factory from at least on the earliest 2021. Everything was very smooth, and the idea is obviously have a control in all the details. Um, and put us like I told you already I'm gonna go to the north tomorrow, but in the other hand, we travel in June to the factory. It's nice to me, like go to our factory, see what is going on, share with everybody in the details. Was very smooth, and I'm so proud of that with all my team, definitely, because it's like the strawberry on the cake. Now we have everything. We have our own factory. We have our own people working with us, and we are a big team. A big team. Like when I say a big team, it's not about quantity. It's like people we believe in Nova from the day one, and that make us big. It's not the quantity; it's the quality of people are in the Nova team.
What about the tobacco and the raw material side of things? Because for that ultimate step of vertical integration, that's probably the only missing link. If you were
Mhm.
to grow your own tobacco, obviously. But how do you feel about the procurement side, of raw materials? Do you feel it's gotten easier over the years with having Platinum Nova more established as a company, as a manufacturer, even so that you feel that you have better access to certain tobaccos?
Um, w- we always have a good access because we open a good relationship with all the different fields, different salespeople around the world. not only in Dominican, we have people in Nicaragua, Mexico, Honduras, Costa Rica, and we always go ahead. Like we're never gonna come back. We're never gonna go to any show with back orders. We want to make sure whatever we're gonna put in the show is whatever is take sleep in our factory in Dominican Republic. Um, it's a challenge sometimes because it's hard with everybody. We don't have our own field. That is very important. I want to share. We don't have our own field. We buy tobacco. The good point, we buy tobacco already aged enough to we can go ready to roll and just put our cigars in our humidor in Dominican Republic in our factory. That is help us a lot because sometimes people have big production and then don't buy the aged tobacco. We want to buy where the rest of the people don't have enough time. When we go to buy tobacco in different cigar factories, we ask what is you have like nobody want to buy because it's aged enough and the price is high. That is what we're looking for. And so far until now, we are ahead on the game with that part. We prefer just keep that relation and people respect that and then put our tobacco on the side. And I know it's a shortage of tobacco, of course, but again, we are a boutique company. We make set amount of cigar a year. We not overhead with all the what I gonna do. Like, I have like 10,000 boxes this year for this production. It is what it is. The rest is going to wait for next year because we need to let the tobacco take the age in the proper way, in the natural way. And when it's ready, we're going to come back again with whatever line we're feeling short.
Another thing that's very distinct is you. How many cigars do you have in the portfolio at the moment? You mentioned,
26.
which is it sounds like a lot, right? And in particular,
Mm.
you keep your blending very particular to the vitola that you're offering, and that in and by itself, I think, is a very interesting philosophy and approach.
Um, that is the idea from the beginning because I understand I'm working on this industry for 15 years already before I come CEO of Platinum Nova Cigar. And I understand when the people are going to see a new company on the shelf, the first thing they're going to say, I never tried that. What is that?
Mhm.
Easy question. And then I said, if we have more blends and we're working with different blends, now it's going to be easy for me to recommend a cigar to a new smoker to Nova Cigar. And I'm not focused in different sizes. I just focus in one blend with this. It take more time, take more money, but everything have a reason behind. If I put, like we are a smoker, all of us are a smoker here. We put the same blend in the Corona side on the Robusto, never going to be the same. This means it's two different blends, like simple like that.
Very
It's
true.
it's
Yeah.
no way it's going to be the same blend because the smoke is going to be totally different. And that help us a lot to open different breaches with a new consumer because people say, I never tried Nova, but I like this type of cigar for this particular brand. Okay, no problem. Good part for me, I'm working on the retail for many years and I'm not going to say all the brands outside, but I can say at least 99% because that is part of my job. Try new cigars, try different blends to recommend when I'm working on the cigar lounge. And when people come to me and say, I never try, I like this one, I say, from the 26 lines, I know for sure one is going to be perfect for your palate.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
How do you how do you structure that with the 26 different offerings that you mentioned? Because usually, people stick to what they identify as the core of the brand, and then they might dabble with a limited edition here and there, and try something else. And especially nowadays, everybody is just limited edition this, limited edition that, and sometimes I feel that companies are struggling to clearly identify, this is our signature, this is who we are, this is our core line. And then, yes, there might be a few little highlights every once in a while. But how do you look at that?
Uh, when we started in 2019, we started with the 6 limited edition. We have 500 boxes of each, and that's it. For us, the word limited edition means limited edition. I'm not going to go with second round because the tobacco never going to be the same.
Yeah.
We divide in three different levels. When I say level, I not talk about the quality of the cigar. I talk about the presentation. One is the limited edition. We have 6 limited edition we released in 2019. Then can be the Coro line. We have Leo 11, Leo 12, and if you go to a website, you're gonna see the different presentation because we understand sometimes the quantity of the cigars on the box, the size of the cigar is going to go better with this particular quantity. And we working day by day, improve ourselves on the presentation. And then another one is going to be the batch collection. The batch collection come in bundles of 20, and we put in another beautiful box of Nova, but it's like the presentation line so far. Many cigar lounges they never carry Nova because we offer a beautiful cigar display, humidor display. Then start with that line because in the small size you can put 3 different small size on the shelf. You can use it to put 3 different lines. But we divide in 3: limited edition, Caroline, and then batch collection. And the prices go from the basic all the way to the top from the limited edition. But again, we're working on the presentation. The aged tobacco, of course, on the limited edition, we talk like 7, 8, 10-year aged tobacco. Like we already rolled that cigar 7 years ago. Plus, we buy aged tobacco to do that lines. This means we keep talking about the age. It's a lot of years on the top. But sometimes people are a little bit afraid. Oh, how many years? I can show you. I can really move this computer, but I can show you in our humidor, in our warehouse here, we have all the limited edition. And when it's done, it's done. That's it. We're going to bring another limited edition. We're working in that, but it's going to be again $500, 1,000. And when it's done because it's hard to bring the same blend. The weather is different, the tobacco is different. And in this time, like it's not going to be the same. Never ever.
In that regards, are you happy or are you okay with the idea that once you have a blend developed and it's well received in the market, it might change over time. It might be a different expression the following year, like for the what you just called limited edition cigars, but basically those 6 different iterations that sit at the core. How do you deal with natural evolution, changes, fluctuations in the product on that line?
Again, we have to just adapt and we honest with the client, the consumer, our friends. It is what it is. On the end of the day, it's tobacco. Like, and things happen. The weather is changed, the fermentation take more time, less time. It's day by day. But the most important for us from the beginning is just be honest. Like sometimes people say, I'm gonna put these bags to sell, but maybe depend your palate, you're gonna feel it a little bit different because last year was very raining or very dry on the field, and that's gonna make, of course, it's gonna make change. And if you go ahead and you be honest, everything is easy. Like natural product, it's not too much we can do.
Absolutely true.
Mm.
I was wondering, Leo, when you spoke about the presentation, you also mentioned the price points. Where do you think that we're at in general with the the evolution, the ebbs and flows, the ups and downs of the industry as a whole? Obviously, we saw that coming out of COVID, the tremendous growth in terms of cigar enjoyment were still very obvious. We seem to have hit a bit of a plateau, and we leveled off at a very, very high level, much higher than we used to be before COVID. What's sort of your feel? Because we also recognize that coming into 2025, there's uncertainty in a lot of the international markets, certainly around politics, geopolitics, and then economical considerations, all of which has a tremendous impact on how people spend their money and what people enjoy on a regular basis. How much of that do you feel concerns a boutique or a smaller company like Platinum Nova?
Um, Always, I'm gonna answer like consumer. Like if I'm the consumer, I'm not the CEO in my answer right now. But when I go to the liquor store, okay, and I'm looking for a wine, I'm always want to try something new. Okay. And people over the world are more open to try new blends, like people. It's funny. I'm going to share with everyone. When I'm start with Nova, people ask me, Leo, another brand, like it's enough brand. I say, no, because it's not enough consumer. Like I'm the kind of person, I go to different places and I want to try something new. When you go to the steakhouse, you're not going to order the same steak over and over and over. You want to try different things on the menu. And it's exactly the same thing with the cigar industry. I'm not afraid, and I believe not many people are afraid to bring a new companies. Um, it's not a competition, it's just put something different on the table. And more people ask your question about now in 2025, more people want to be involved on the cigar industry. More people want to try different companies, different blends. And thanks to all of you, companies like us are open, like people start open the doors to try boutique companies. Like I'm always say, I don't pretend stop buy whatever you regular buy or smoke what you regular smoke, but give the chance to try something new. I'm not gonna say every day, but at least one time a day and one time a week. Like if you go and you're gonna buy your cigar, ask for what is new, because it's a lot of good companies working behind each blend. A lot of good people working to try to put the best of the best on the table. And good for us, the new generation looking for a new product too. Then are more interactive with us, like uh, personal with us on the social media. Like we can see our followers, new generation, and then want to know what is going on. And that is the open doors to companies like us to just keep build our portfolio.
Very,
Mhm.
very important points. And I mean, just the the look and feel, the presentation of Platinum Nova, I think is very, very welcoming and inviting to new consumers because you can't help yourself but feel it's fresh. There's something going on.
It's like
It's
we
not your
here.
exactly right. Yes.
Yes, that is the concept from the beginning. It's like a fresh look. Um, if I go back and I remember when I working on the humidor on the cigar lounges, and I say like, oh, I just need like more splash for something like new. And it's not new company. All companies bring a new product, but always still on the same level, in the same colors: black, dark, red, blue, dark blue. Now, from nowhere, we bring the shiny from Nova cigar color. And then it's funny because 7 years later, I see many different companies start using these kind of colors, and I'm happy for that. This means I'm realized long time ago it's an open door to refresh and change the color. And Jesse, we here, hello. It's like my father always say, just make sure when you go inside of any place, people look at you, for bad or for good, but at least they're gonna look at you. And that is something happened with Nova. Like people say, what is this color? What is this band? And this is working very well in our end.
You know, one thing I feel, especially when doing a show like ours, uh, who spends an hour, 2 hours out of their precious time on an average Wednesday, or every Wednesday for that matter, because we have so many wonderful guests who come on and talk about cigars for 2 hours, right? So there's a certain geekiness going on with people who join programs like ours, and that naturally represents a small percentage sitting on top of what ultimately makes the premium cigar family and community. So, as a matter of consequence, our perspective might be a little skewed, but we sometimes forget then, I would say, that every single day you have new people coming into this family or community, people who join the lifestyle and the enjoyment of premium cigars. How do you think we can be more open and welcoming towards that? Or how can we make sure that as established cigar enthusiasts, both consumers, retailers, manufacturers, we don't forget to always go back to the basics, go back to what brings new people into this culture in the first place?
So far, if we look what happened right now, like in this Zoom, we just enjoy talk. Nobody feeling like I know more, or it's easy. Like in Zoom like that, like everybody can just be relaxed and talk about the cigar, light up the cigar, talk about yourself. That is welcome, because I feeling sometimes people feeling a little bit intimidated when you
Hmm.
just talk about all the process, and on the end of the day, they want to enjoy a cigar. We have to just start for the part. The consumer want to enjoy a cigar. Just talk about the cigar and respect everyone. Like I can smoke the same cigar like you right now, or like any of you, and I can feel in totally different. My palate is totally different notes, and I have to respect what you feeling in when you smoke the cigar. That is another thing. You don't have to just. It is what it is, and you're gonna find the dark chocolate or the spicy, because I'm gonna look like I don't find nothing like that. I just find like more smooth and creamy, and we have to respect that part and talk more about the final cigar and not too much about the process. Of course, we respect the process, but sometimes when we talk a lot about the feel, the process, this, that, the new people feeling a little bit intimidated because they don't know what they're going to talk about it, because it's an
Hmm.
experience for them. Of course, always we have to just put a little bit from all the background of the cigar, but just open mind to everybody, just describe the cigar and talk about the cigar their own way. Because on the end of the day, all of us can be master blender, with all my respect with the master blender. No,
Yeah.
that is a good point. Like, we have amazing master blender around the world, but on the end of the day, we are all our own master blender. Like, I can have and I can make my own cigar, the one I really gonna enjoy, and it's gonna be my own exclusive line. And if all of you have the opportunity and you created something, like, with all my respect to the big people around the industry, like, we have to respect everyone palate, and everybody gonna have like different what you say answer to describe the cigar.
That's a very important point. I'm totally with you. Um, Another question that we oftentimes discuss here on the show is regarding the blends, because you mentioned the word master blender, right? Um, Now, obviously, you disclose the blends for your cigars, and you give the consumers an understanding or an idea of what's going on with the cigars. But do you feel that that is an important part of the equation for new consumers when they pick a cigar, when they walk into the humidor and they grab something from the shelves?
Definitely yes, because we have to give you an idea in general what they're going to expect when they light up the cigar. This means if I don't give you like a 3 points binder, filler, and wrapper, you're not going to have no idea, and you just maybe make a mistake in your mind because you see a Connecticut wrapper and it's very light wrapper, and you assume it's a light cigar. But if that Connecticut wrapper have Nicaragua, and it's going to completely change. And then you're going to feel like, ooh, and I don't like Connecticut Rapid. And it's not about you don't like Connecticut Rapid. The blend come with that particular Connecticut Rapid is not what you expect. That is
Mhm.
the reason we always give you like give you an idea what you're going to, what the profile you're going to have on that cigar in any of our line, to prepare you to you can enjoy and don't catch you by surprise what is going on here. Like
But
exactly happened with the Maduros. We use a lot of San Andres from Mexico. If you look the cigar, it look very dark, Maduro, and people assume it's a very strong cigar. Not really. It depends exactly the blend you made, because the San Andres is a beautiful wrapper and it have a beautiful notes. And that is the reason always you really have to take time to not only educate ourselves, educate everybody before we try the, sorry, before we try the cigars.
but
To everybody have a good experience.
in that sense, wouldn't it also make sense to, focus a little more on explaining what that blend will translate to in terms of the experience? Because sometimes I feel like, we the industry has fallen into that rhythm or mechanism of just rattling off wrapper binder filler. But that can mean so many different things, besides the fact that very few people, very few consumers have smoked Esteli Ligero pure grade as a little fumo,
Uh-huh.
because they haven't visited a factory, so they'll probably not know how does that influence the blend, how does that affect the overall cigar enjoyment and experience, if that makes
Uh-huh.
sense. But if you can take them by the hand and tell them, look, this is sort of what we're trying to get to. This is the emotion that we try to convey with the blend.
Uh-huh.
It changes the conversation. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. And that is like an open door to the person have a good experience when they try the cigar. Uh, when people ask me what you recommend, it's not about what we recommend, it's about what you like to smoke. Okay, we have to just give the question back because
Yeah.
that is the best way we can recommend something in our blends. Like you say before, we can describe San Andres wrapper, Dominican filler, and Nicaragua binder. But this don't mean I give you the blend. I just give you an idea. Okay, if we divide by percent, that blend have like maybe 5, 6, 7 different tobaccos inside. But of course, I'm more open more when the people ask me, okay, tell me more about this particular blend. Okay, I'm not going to share with you the blend, but I'm going to give you more intensity in what is going on inside of the cigar. But yes, I think always it's good to give an idea to everybody what you're going to expect when you light up the cigar.
Yeah. Ian made a very valuable point. He just said in the comment section that for newbies or for many of us, a description such as medium full is easier to understand than knowing what the leaves are. And I think that's very accurate. Now,
Yes.
here's another thing that I sometimes struggle with is the number one descriptor for people tends to be, do you like mild, medium, full? And then I'm always like, uh, wait a second, what exactly are we talking about? Do you mean nicotine strength? Are we talking about mouthfeel or body or
Uh-huh.
intensity in terms of the aromas? And I oftentimes feel that we don't differentiate enough and truly explain what are we talking about? Because a cigar can be awfully strong in nicotine, but be relatively linear in terms of its aromatic expression, and maybe even have a, not such a rich mouthfeel or body or texture. And at the same
Uh-huh.
time, you can have a beautifully complex, very aromatic cigar with relatively low nicotine, whilst the body is just smooth and the texture is velvety and rich.
Yes. Yeah, that is a great definition too, because when people ask and we make that big mistake all over because we want to just go quick to the answer. Okay, what you like, mild, medium, or full? But on the end of the day, I think if we take more time and we ask what really the people like and listen more, it's going to be easy for us to recommend a cigar. Sometimes I don't ask what you like, mild, medium, or full. I just ask what you like to drink and then
Mm-hmm.
say, what do you mean what I like to drink? I just ask you for a cigar. I say, listen, you drinking coffee in the morning? You say, yes, okay, what kind of type of coffee you like? If the person answer like, I like a double espresso, in my mind, I know exactly what I can recommend in on our line. It's easy for me ask this kind of question and don't go straight, you like mine, medium or full, because that is going to confuse on the nicotine, like you say, and the profile of the cigar, the intensity.
Leo, would you say that is a consequence of your previous experiences,
Mm.
having worked retail, having been in the culinary arts, having been on the mixologist side? I mean, you've done so many things prior to being on the brand side. Um, is that the learning curve that you've gone through, having seen all these various industries or parts of the cigar industry?
Definitely is because I remember when I started working on the cigar lounge, I don't have no idea about cigars, but I know for sure I love the cigar industry. I know come from the tobacco country, I know come from the tobacco family, and I have a challenge in the front of me if I really want to be involved on this industry. And I decide to learn her on different way we direct with the consumer. Like when people come to our humidor in one of the cigar lounges, I ask, he asked me, like people ask me, what you recommend? And it's so hard for me to recommend something because I'm new in the business. What are you going to recommend? I have to try the cigar. I have to take my own uh, tips to recommend cigars. and I just give the question back and I say, okay, tell me more about you. What you like to smoke, what you like to drink, what you like to eat. You eat already. And now I just start put all these different in my mind. And then, okay, he say he don't have a lunch and he like medium to full and he like a salad. Like things like that give me an idea on the palate of the person where he's going to enjoy and take time, because sometimes I just stay with the client like half hour, 45 minutes. And in the, I remember in the store, people look at me like, you're never going to make it your commission if you keep it doing like that. But I make a loyal client. And all the time when they come back, then wait for me, because I take time to understand what they're looking for. And I'm learner on the same way. Like sometimes I'm in the rush, move, and I wanted something like light and short, and I know exactly what I'm going to pick that particular moment from the humidor to smoke a try. And that is very important, because we divide the concept about mild, medium, and full, and to know a little bit more about the person and the move. Sometimes it depends the move you are. Like everything is depend how much is going to affect the smoke on you. Like if you wake up in the morning and you just have like a very tough morning, and then you say, I like something strong, and I give you the most crazy full bodies because I not take time to listen what you really like, I'm going to ruin your morning. Like it's this kind of things is like make the difference. Take time, yes. I'm learning about that, yes. But because all the way in all the years back, the way I'm push myself to learn and understand everybody's different, and everybody have their own right to understand and enjoy the cigar in their own way. More open mind I am, is more good what you say is technology I'm having inside. More open, like it's like I say, okay, this is black, and you say, no, it's really dark brown. I have to be open, like maybe it's drug, because you see in the camera, and it's exactly with the cigar, it's exactly with the life. I just I'm involved everything on the cigar, because on the end of the day we enjoy the cigar, and that is the most important.
Yeah, yeah, how true. Now, obviously, coming from retail, and there's plenty of examples in the industry, um, has a tremendous value once you switch to the brand owner side. Um, Vice versa, though, would you say that having been on the brand side has given you a different perspective on cigar retail or how manufacturers work with retailers? Because from my own experience, retailers also have their issues with certain ways of doing business on the manufacturer side and vice versa. Um, Now being on the brand side, do you look at retail differently also compared to when you were on that side of the industry?
Definitely, definitely. Because before I'm working on the retail and I'm a consumer, but now I'm in this side of the industry, I understand how important is the retail in many aspects. Because whatever you made, then gonna deliver it. If you don't do it your job good, it's gonna be so hard for them deliver the product to the consumer. Um, that is one of the big reasons I personally keep travel all over to shake hands and say thank you. I don't come here to you put another order. I just want to say thank you to you have our cigars on the shelf, because that is like a rent. You open your house to put a box of Nova, and I'm not paying rent, but you open the house for me. This means I have to do my part too, to support you, to be there for you, to do an event for you, and on the same time be the like for me, the retailer is the bridge direct to the consumer. It's very important, make sure the retailer is happy and is there in anything they need, because if I'm not there, they're going to be the ones going to talk about the Nova. If I'm not take care of them, then they're going to take care of Nova. And I don't want to be in and out on any cigar lounge. I just want to make sure if you open the door for us, we're going to be there for long, long, long terms. It's like a relation. In the beginning, you have to know what is going on. You have to understand a couple blanks is going to move. It depends. Like, I'm going to just tell you a short story. When in 2000, this happened in 2021, a person come, a owner from the cigar lounge come with the black card. I'm not going to talk about the name of the cigar lounge, but it's like until now we working together. But he come and he just do it like that. Put me $10,000 of your order, of your product, because the people are so tired. I'm so tired to listen to people ask for Nova. Just put 10,000. I say, excuse me, sir, you have time to talk? No, I don't have time. I said, I don't have time either. Take your black card back, because that is not the way we work. And he looked at me and he said, I don't understand. I put money in your hands. I said, that is the thing. If you don't have enough time to learn about my product, what are you going to expect when you try to sell the product? This means I'm going to put $10,000 order today, and 3 months later, you're going to call me and you're going to say, nobody likes your cigars don't move, I wanted my money back, and all this blah, 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 blah. And he looked at me and said, okay, you have time tomorrow? I say, I'm always have time. The gentleman come back next day. We sit almost for hour, 15 minutes. We shake hands. He put the double of the order, and he said, thank you so much to teach me the way I have to open accounts. Because it's not about quantity, it's about the time you take to talk about your product. If I'm desperate, like for the money, just put the order, it's going to be one time. And he's not going to be happy. I'm not going to be happy. The customer, when they go to the cigar lounge, they're not going to have no idea what is going on with this beautiful brand on the shelf. But yeah, that is very important. Take time to talk with the retailers, to let them know, listen what is the best. Sometimes people say, I'm not carrying your line. I would love to have your line. I say, tell me about your cigar lounge. What is your best sell cigar? What is the price point that people like? What is in the safe zone? What is the most, the ring gauge, the size? And I just, in my 26 line, maybe I just pick 4 lines that is going to be perfect for your cigar lounge, at least to start. At least know about, I don't want to see the shelf full of Nova cigar, but I want to make sure that people are happy and then want to just try and fall in love with our cigars. Like make new clients and not make one-time clients.
What a wonderful point. And I wanted to ask you as to how you actually select your retail partners, your lounge operators, and you've sort of partially answered that question, but what would you say are some of the key attributes that you're looking for when deciding whether or not a certain lounge operator or retailer is a good fit for Platinum Nova?
And definitely, I have to just feel in the owner, the manager are open to boutique companies and then don't want to just take our product like hostage in the cigar lounge. I just want to make sure you understand uh, in different quantity, but our quality is there. We're going back to what I say before. If you don't take time to talk to me, it's not the kind of place I want to have my cigars, because this means you not take time to talk with your client. And that is, is sometimes and this happened to me one time. I just go to one cigar lounge long time ago, and I just ask for Nova, and I know it's one of our account. The person in the front, he don't have no idea who I am, and it's fine. I'm not famous. It's fine, no problem. But when I go and I ask for Nova, he say, yeah, it's inside of the humidor. From the beginning, I don't like the attitude, because you don't know me. It's a new client come to the cigar lounge, and you don't get up from behind the counter and take care of me and ask me what I want to smoke or give me a tour on the cigar lounge. That is a straight one, because that is not a welcome place. And when I go inside of the humidor, I see our cigars on the corner with dust on the boxes. And I ask, why you guys have these cigars all over here? I really want to try that cigar. It's a boutique companies. Nobody really asks for boutique companies. That is the reason we put all the way on the back. Okay, straight to. If you bring a new company, you have to put in the front at least to let the people know we have a new company, a new brand, not all the way and pretend somebody's going to ask, oh, you have Nova? Like, that is not the way you care the boutique companies. You have to let a nice shelf on the cigar, on the humidor, to the people at least see and ask. I don't pretend you're going to ask, but at least what is that? But then you put all our line all the way on the back, on the floor, and then you tell me nobody asks about Nova or nobody like Nova. Okay, something is wrong. It's funny because we buy all the product back, and 2 days later, the owner called me. I said, "Oh, Leo, you know what? I want to put another order because everybody loved Nova." I said, "Uh-huh." I said, and he just, "Oh my God, Baba." And I'm already was in the cigar lounge. I said, "You know what? That person was me. And with all my respect, you're not going to carry Nova because it's a lot of our team working so hard to put this product together. And if you don't show us respect, it's not the place I want to see our Nova brand." And that is a little bit strong from my side, but sometimes you have to let the people understand, like, you have to be there. If you are open to bring boutique companies, you have to open to talk about the boutique. It's like it's two ways. Like, if you're not going to talk what you buy just to fulfill another shelf on the cigar, on the humidor, don't make too much sense. You have to really understand, respect, and talk about the brand to any boutique company, because we work in the same way everybody working. With the small quantities, maybe yes, but the quality is there. The quality is there. Not because we don't have a famous name, this means we're going to be all the way in the corner when we're working with a good quality tobacco. That is one of my things, but thank God don't happen so often. This thing happened like long time ago and never ever happen again. Good. But yeah, it's like a 50-50. I'm always say we can divide 100%, we can divide 35, and 30%. 35 in our size, 35 from the retail and 30% to the consumer. If you don't give you a good experience to the consumer, what you expect from us? Is
Very
that is
interesting. Yeah. Do you feel that these conversations are different when you talk to your retailers in the United States versus your international partners?
okay? My first experience was last year when we are in Intertabac, and by my surprise, the European market are more open to try new blends, new companies, new work. That is
Interesting.
something like really surprised me. In America, it's like more like, the five companies always was there and take like 90% of the inside of the humidor. And it's like, then don't want to take too much time to talk about the new company. To the consumer, it's like in, out, in, out. In Europe, I saw people want to know more and they want to just bring new faces and they want to try something new, are more open mind. And that is in United States, take time, take time. It's, it's, it's a long way to the people understand. Besides, you are a boutique company, you make a good cigar and you deserve a space on the shelves.
It's an interesting observation, and I believe to a certain extent it's a relatively recent evolution. And when I say recent, then we're talking about the last 1 or 2 decades, maybe, right? Because traditionally the international markets were heavily dominated by Habanos,
Mhm.
Davidoff, and then you had a little bit of the rest. Now that whole equation is thrown upside down with the shortage of Cuban cigars. Everybody's eager to try something new, and suddenly this whole world of non-Cuban cigars is opened up for the international markets. But it's a great observation, and I very much like that. Um, on that note, how much do you think that awards, reviews factor in? You were just awarded in 2024 at the Intertabac, or I should rather say at the Cigar Trophy Awards. You were named the best boutique cigar company from the Dominican Republic. Um, do you see an immediate impact with an award like this as to the brand recognition, how people react to it?
Definitely. It's funny you say that because I remember the next day we are in our booth and it's almost a line to people come and I want to take a picture with the trophy. And the owner from the distribution come and say, we never see almost a line waiting to take a picture with the trophy. And that make my heart like so emotional because it's nice not only receive the trophy for and it's the best boutique brand from Dominican Republic, and the consumer nominate us. Like we win by the consumer. That is something like I have a good fun when I think about that moment because I don't know if I'm gonna cry, I'm gonna smile. I don't know. It's like too many emotions. Um, but yeah, definitely it's make a great impact to Nova to let everybody know. So we know only in Germany, we know only in Europe. We have a good product and the people are open to try. Just come and see what is going on in this booth because we here and yes, it's definitely changed. It's a game change for us because so far before we go to Europe, to Germany, we are in the Middle East, we are in Korea, but we are in a couple places in Europe. But the way we just bring back Nova Cigar with a Europe recognition is like something really, really amazing. And I have my trophy over there. Over there. Yes.
That's wonderful, wonderful to hear. Um, just out of coincidence, Riot just joined us here at the lounge, and I wanted to bring him in for a moment if he can or wants to speak up, because
Oh,
I know that
Oh my
that
God.
Riot is representing your brand. Yeah, perfect timing.
yes.
Oh
We're
my
basically
God.
just talking about you, man.
Everything good.
And here
Everything
you
good.
are.
Okay.
That's amazing. How amazing is that? Hi, everyone. How's it going?
Good to see you, brother.
Good to see
Good
you,
to see
Reed.
you always. Leo, are
Leo's
they taking
here.
good care of you?
Yes, no complaints. No complaint. I promise no complaints.
Excellent. How are you? How are things going?
So far, so good. Happy to be here around all these people, all the support. Like happy to share part of my journal, my experience, and yes, looking forward to more new good thing and new thing happen to Nova, and you know that.
I'm sure. I'm sure. You're very inspiring. Okay. So I'm on my fourth or fifth glass of wine. So
Yes, talk,
I'm gonna
talk,
I'm,
talk.
I'm gonna say it like it is. You're very inspiring. You're a person that I love, and I appreciate the Nova cigars are amazing, and you keep on getting them better and better. Seeing you is a breath of fresh air, and it's always lovely to see you. And I cannot but thank Reinhard for having you with us tonight.
Thank you, Reed.
Well,
You know, I'm gonna share with everyone. It's funny. You're gonna be happy, Reed. I want to show you something to everyone that happened if I'm not wrong, in 2021 when you
When
come to a
when I dropped the bottle of wine all over the restaurant.
no,
Let's see. Wait.
you remember you come to our booth with your T-shirt with
Yes, and
the
everybody signed. Yes, yes, yes.
and
Oh
and
my.
I'm like, oh my God, I gonna sign like wow, and you see all the big names around, and you give me the shirt, Leo, can you sign? And I'm feeling like super important, and I just sign. I'll keep that picture for me forever.
You know what's funny is yesterday the accountant in the company was asking me for a document and I could not find it. And my office is an absolute disaster. And my wife always gives me hell about my office in the house. So I go in, and as I'm looking for that piece of paper, I find the T-shirt, which I never had the chance to frame, and I want to do that.
You have
And
to.
oh my! And then you mention it now. That's
Yes,
unbelievable, unbelievable.
yes.
How was PCA for you?
It's great. We just share with everyone the new package, the new fresh look from Nova. Was really, really good. Like we open new accounts. The all accounts always there for us. That is great. And it's nice all the time when we back to shows like that, new people and new accounts come to us and then want to know about more about Nova. That is the beauty of go to these shows.
Make Nova great.
Yes.
Right, quick question for you, and
Please,
without throwing you under the bus, when you're
please
just
do.
joining us,
I
it's
Ooh,
love it when you
wonderful to
throw me
see
under the
you,
bus. You know that.
and I want to hear from your perspective, because you carry a plethora of wonderful brands at the Leaf Masters in the Middle East. Um, and here we have Leo with Platinum Nova Cigars, a breath of fresh air. Um, how do you feel that out of all the brands you carry, um, Leo and Platinum Nova stands out. And how do you introduce people in the Middle East to the brand, knowing its very specific place in the market, its very specific design and presentation? How do you approach bringing new people into the Platinum Nova family?
Look, I love your question. What's amazing about Nova is you walk in. This is one of the challenges I have when you have so many brands and so many SKUs in the shop, especially my shops. Well, the one in Dubai is half the size of the one in Abu Dhabi. And people walk in and they're overwhelmed by the amount of cigars and the amount of options that they have over there. And what's beautiful about Nova is that color that identifies it. It automatically you walk in, and the first thing you say, and you're like, "What's that?" I have a lot of people that say, "What's that?" Now, the challenge you have, and you know this, and I'm sure Leo knows this, the challenge you have with boutique cigars is when people don't know the brand and they realize or look at the price point and they're like taken aback at the beginning, and then you start describing it and telling them about it and they try it for the first time and they realize the spectrum that's available and what they're doing and the quality of the cigar itself. And it's amazing how it has picked up, and I'm very proud of the way it picked up, to the extent that it's a lot of people in the Middle East and the GCC and the Middle East in general that have been adding that brand to their spectrum of cigars in their shops. So it starts by the soul of the brand. And I think this is a very important thing where you, as a brand, can position yourself by your looks and all of that stuff. But it's not only about the look. The tobacco itself, the cigars themselves are really good. And then you go and you speak to Leo, and it's amazing how she, with her smile, with her, no, and she knows how I feel about her as a person, as a
Yeah.
friend, she takes you with her unbelievable energy, and it just, everything fits. It ticks all the boxes: the look, the quality, the tobacco, the selection, the wide selection, and the person behind the brand itself, and the owners of the brand. We gotta give them amazing credit for what they have done.
That's
Sorry, I'm around a lot of people.
right. That's wonderful to hear, and thanks for sharing that.
I hope I answered your question.
Oh, absolutely, spot
Probably
on.
emotionally, but I really mean every word I said.
Look,
Thank you, Reed.
I think that's ultimately what makes all the difference, and
Right?
what makes a brand like Platinum Nova stand out, because um, the cigar obviously has to speak for itself, and that's sort of your underlying core promise that the product is not only solid but great, but then it's the other elements, and it's that emotional connection that you mentioned, which truly resonates with people, and that's what gives them, you know, an emotion for the product. And ultimately, that's what we look for and what we come back for, rather than just, leaves of tobacco.
Agreed. And I'm a man that loves. I love cars. I love vehicles. I love different things, and I always give that to example to my team, which is the perfect Mercedes selection, which is you can go in and you have the A class, the B class, the C class, all the way up to the Maybach. And this is what I love about a brand like Nova, which is whatever your selection is, whatever your preference is, there's a wide spectrum that would be there for your choice of the tobacco, even as simple as something that is sweet tipped, which is amazing how there's a lot of people that misunderstood that, and it's coming back so strong
Mhm.
that at some point people were like, oh, okay, sweet tip cigars are not necessarily good cigars. And all of a sudden, you're getting unbelievable quality tobacco that is sweet tipped. And I love that.
Mhm.
Thanks a
I don't
lot
know
for
if that
sharing,
makes
Ryan.
sense. Thank
Much
you. Thank you for
appreciated.
giving me the chance to do
Thank you,
that.
Reed.
Of
Thank
course,
you.
absolutely. Um, Leo, I would love to briefly bring in Rich Myberg, who's here with us as well. And Rich, it was fabulous seeing you in New Orleans. You had a question for Leo, I believe, and then I certainly hope you have a little joke for us prepared as well.
I am. There I am.
Yeah, yes,
Leo, you said earlier that you'll be heading north this week. Will
yes,
you be at the Sisters of the Leaf thing in Tampa this weekend?
yes.
Oh,
I will
good.
be there. Yes, for sure.
Oh, good.
Tomorrow, I
My
just
wife and I,
start. You gonna be
go
there,
ahead.
Rich?
My wife and I'll probably stop by for sure, at least for the 8:30 meeting. You guys will
Perfect.
be very busy at noon, but we'll get by later in the day.
Sounds
Look forward to seeing
perfect to
you.
see you there. Yeah, looking forward to see you. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of people over there on the north.
Oh yeah, the one of the things you mentioned, having been a broker for a long time and spent zillions of years in the apparel business, doing a lot of sales training and stuff. You mentioned walking to a store and the young man behind the counter didn't want to walk in and show you the humidor. I fight with people all the time in retail stores. I've got store owners will be sitting there behind the cash register. Somebody will walk in, walk right into the humidor. I said, "Aren't you going to help him?" He says, "He's a regular. He knows what he wants."
Still,
I say, I know what he wants. He knows what he wants. What do you want to sell him? That's the question you have to ask. What do you want to sell him? If he likes brand X in size so and so, you walk in behind him and say, I know you love this cigar, but let me show you
but
something new that might. And these guys don't get it. It's the same thing since I'm in
it,
the
it,
accessory business. People walk out of a store and nobody says, you need a butane? Is your cutter okay? I got a new
uh,
lighter I want to show you. Nobody does this, and they let money walk out the door. It's
but
annoying.
Rich, besides the money, is the the personal touch with the people, like the
Right,
client, then
sure.
come, yes, you know what, in and out, in and out. I think you work in the wrong industry if you want to make sales like that. The idea is just customer service. Talk with the customer. Hey, like you say, you like this cigar. I know you are a regular, but look what is new. Just try on me. Look what I say. Besides the sale, okay, that is the connection you have to make with your client to make your shop successful.
Absolutely. As we've talked about lunch on the Meet the Professor show over the years, was going into a cigar store is an experience.
It is.
You know, if you create an experience, they want to come back. I know that you guys are running long, so I just have a question for Reinhardt. Reinhardt, do you know the difference between light and hard?
Very good question.
I don't want to answer that. Go ahead.
No, no,
Good
no.
it for you.
It's easier to fall asleep with the light on.
Oh, Rich, thank you for sharing that with
I-
us.
It's pre-approved by my friend Cynthia Fuente, so I thought I'd be okay.
Stamp of approval. I love that. It
All
was
right,
great seeing you
thanks.
both in New Orleans, Rich. It was wonderful to bump into you, and I was very glad that Cynthia was there as well. We had a wonderful
Mhm.
time, and very good to see her. Thanks for joining in, and thanks for being with us tonight. Much appreciated. Leo, quick follow up on the Sisters of the Leaf movement, uh, because you're heavily involved with that. You're very close to the movement. I wanted to hear your thoughts on this matter and how you think that the importance of initiatives, communities, and movements like Social Global Movement and similar ones. How do you think that is changing the whole vibe, the community aspect around cigars?
Okay, in the beginning, like it was a little bit misunderstanding because it's like, oh, these women want to be strong together and, feministas, and then want to just, I said, no, like that is a misunderstanding in the beginning. We are open to bring women's new smoker to feeling comfort to go to the cigar lounges, to ask for the cigar, to then can learn about the light up the cigar, to smoke a cigar. That is the way in all the concept in Sister of the Leaf, like together, support each other, just to feeling more comfort to go to different places and light up the cigar. That is one of the important part on this kind of movement. It's not like competition. It's not like about how many followers. It's all these things you just leave on the side. We don't care how many followers you have, for how long you smoke. We want to just make sure you are more of welcome to come to this beautiful industry and share a cigar with us. That is one of the big reasons we're going to be this weekend on Tampa in the Cynthia Fuentes headquarters, just to sit and share different ideas. And it's not about the people like direct members. It's about everyone. Everybody have a voice, and everybody want to talk and give you different ideas to we can help to just put bigger and bigger men's and women's on the same. I don't want to use the word same level, because we are on the same level. Like, and that is another thing. It's not people. Sometimes people ask me, "Oh, Leo, how hard is be a woman in the cigar industry?" For me, it never was hard, because I know what I like, and I respect the rest of, and I respect everyone, and I love them a cigar, and I'm a smoke, and I'm good with that. It's the perception from the people when you go to different cigar lounge. It's in you. It's inside of you. If you know what you like, you love to smoke, just go ahead, and the people around you is going to respect you. And that is one of the important points we're going to talk when we're going to be in this weekend. Plus, be more close to all the regulation, be more close to DC, Washington, DC. Yes, to be the same way like we, like CEOs, are involved, to everybody educate themselves, to know what is going on in the world, what is going on with the cigar. It's not only just come together, enjoy a cigar, it's educate ourselves to what is going on around the world, and share ideas to be more outside and enjoy the cigar, enjoy like conversation. That is the reason to this Sister of the Leaf. Like, we are here together to enjoy a cigar, to talk about the cigar. It's not about from where you come from, where you live. Like, light up, light up.
Bravo, absolutely. Leo, before we wrap things off, take a little peek into the crystal ball with me, and let's talk a little bit about what's in store for Platinum Nova Cigars for yourself. Obviously, with the new packaging that you've just presented, but what are some of the things that you're working on, and some of the things that you would like or you would wish to see for the company over the next couple of months and towards the end of the year?
Okay, definitely. So far, we just
Wait,
this
wait,
year.
wait. I have to intrude here, and I'm sorry for being rude. Are there any
No,
collabs coming in? Are there? I'm sure there's something cooking. You always have something cooking, and we'd love. We can smell it, but we'd love to hear it and taste it.
you're not gonna hear too much because it's a surprise.
We want to hear
But
whatever you want us to hear.
yeah, the idea is, yes, we so like almost year and a half we start working with a new blend, and it's going to be the first time nobody decide to make the same blend in two different sizes. Okay, and there's going to be a history behind that, and the presentation is going to be like beautiful. Not only the cigar, the blend, the presentation, everything going to come to the top shelf. Like, be ready, Reed. Okay, I'm ready to put your order right away. That is one thing. We're just working already in the new blend for 2027. We're going to release. And on the top is another presentation, like it's going to let everybody know Nova don't plan and go anywhere. Nova is stronger. We keep going. And we're going to release that beautiful presentation in something else on 2027. No, 2026. I believe it's going to happen on the PCA. Definitely. It's going to be something like, people are going to say, like, what is going on? Like, and I'm always like a Reese say, when the people think you know everything with Nova, I always come with something different. I just let the people think, okay, no, Nova go flat. Nothing is new. And next thing you know, Leo jump up and down and like, hey, yes, no, we here. And always, yes, our idea in our team is just come with different ideas. Like, don't worry about what the rest of the companies made around you, just focusing what we're doing. The most crazy idea, that is the one nobody's going to bring on the table. Okay, on the end of the day, tobacco is tobacco, cigars are cigar. You have to just working on presentation in different blends, be more involved with the customer, client, consumer. Like, when we bring Nicaragua in 2021, people, because we have assumed like that, and it's because we never bring anything from Nicaragua, and then clients send the message, oh my God, I know you make that blend for me. Yeah, for you, because I take the feedback. Like, we put the things like a horse to don't, we don't know, it's no, I don't want to be rude to say we don't care, but it's not going to affect us what the rest of the companies made. Then do a great product, great presentation, but we focus in what we want to bring to the table. And for sure, always is going to be different. Not in the cigars, because cigars are cigars, but yes, something is cooking.
Beautiful,
But
Leo.
can I ask a question? Reinhard, with your
Of
permission, can I
course,
ask a question, please?
please,
So we
please.
hear a lot about collaborations or work or things that are coming out between, for example, famous people or people that are very much in the scene and cigar brands, or mainstream or big producers and boutique. But we've never heard, and excuse my ignorance if that has already happened, but I'm unaware of it. We've never heard about boutique and boutique getting together. Does that even make sense? I don't know. I find that very, very, very interesting for you to have two boutique brands coming up with something, because two thought processes that are totally out of the box thinking together.
It's a great question, a great point. We appointed to do collaboration with 3 different companies already, and I'm decided don't go ahead. From the 3, 2 are boutique companies. I consider them boutique. And for respect to our own company and our brand, we're not ready to do collaboration. When I say we're not ready, because our name is still with himself. Like, I don't want to, in one point, people say, oh, you go here because you do collaboration with this big brand, and now your brand go up. We're going to grow in organic. Like, when the time is come to, we are on the safe zone, like, okay, now everybody know about Nova. Now, if I'm going to do a collaboration, I'm going to do a collaboration like the both are on the same spot. I don't need, and it's not nice the way I'm going to say, I don't need somebody grab me to put the name in my box of cigar. We build our own name. We working with all our team to just establish our name. I like, I respect people do a collaboration, but for us now, don't make sense. Now, maybe in 5 years, I'm going to say, yeah, we decide to do collaboration. But so far, I think, again, if you are focusing what you're doing, like if different companies, like you focus in your own, I focus in my own, what are we going to mix? If like that, we good. But no, not yet. I'm not ready to do collaboration. No. I have to keep Bill Nova in our own way.
I know. I mean, I can fully understand that. If you are in the process of coming up with new blends, if you have great surprises that are coming up, I can fully understand and relate to where you're coming from.
Yes. But yeah, definitely, that is not one of the surprises. No, not now. Who knows? I never close any door. That is a good part with us. I never say never. Okay, we don't know. Things is changed. Maybe it's a point to do collaboration. Who knows? But it's like a relation. If you're gonna do a collaboration, you have to really know the person you're gonna be married. Yeah, it's like a relation. You have to see, hanging up together, see what is going on. Your reputation, my reputation. Just see, and just maybe it's time to go marry. But until now, we just decide just going our own way.
Good. I'm trying so hard to come out, but it's just not working. Reinhard, I leave it to you. She's a tough cookie.
I
Very,
like
very
that.
true. But I love the question, Rad, and thanks for bringing it up. Leo, certainly,
Thank you.
I know there's a lot cooking, and we're excited for what's to come. Irrespectively of what it's going to be, we wish you nothing but continued success and all the success and joy in the world in the process. thank you very much for coming on today and sharing so much with us. It was an absolute pleasure, a treat, and wonderful to have you with us. So thank you very much from the heart, and thanks for being part of Light 'em Up again.
Thank you, all of you, to have me and to take time to listen my stories. I really appreciate that because, it things like that, right? When you put people together, and in my case, I have the opportunity to share part of my story and my journal. It's nice. I really appreciate that, and I'm really thank all of you to take Rosalia, Karen, Dehan, everybody, Mike. I can say Jan, Reed, Lazar, John, Cigar Royal over there, Ray, Clementis, all of you to be in this Zoom with me.
Absolutely, and plenty more watching over on YouTube as well. Thanks everybody for joining us this week. Today, it was fabulous to have you again. Leonor, thank you very, very much for being with us. Light 'em up, everybody, and we'll see each other next week.
Yes.
Same time,
Thank
same
you,
station.
Bye-bye.
Thanks,
Leo.
everybody.
All
Bye,
right.
Leo.
Thank you
Bye.
so much.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
Thanks, everybody. Good night.
Bye. Good night.
And all.